Hey guys, how we doing? Good morning, afternoon, evening. Slightly different place today. St Albans town again, but not where the bells are. There's some real nice nature going on here. Some birds tweeting, I don't know if you can hear it. There he is. Yeah, love that to start off the day or continue the morning. Done my boot camp this morning. Fucking brutal, yeah. So, who's done tyre drags here? Who's dragged lorry tyres? That was our finisher today. At the end of a hard session, sort of 45, 50 minutes, then we did the finisher called a tyre drag, and it's so the weight of the tyre is about 55 kilos, but it's not necessarily that. It's the drag. It's the friction on the grass. So when the grass is a little bit damp, the friction was strong. Here we go, Fash. Beasting, man. Tough one, right? Were you there for the finisher? I'm not sure. I can't remember if you were still there at that point. But yeah, the fucking the drag was good, brutal. But on the main session, you finish off with a nice sprint, brother. That was all good, man. When you unleash the beast, so that's good. So how is everyone? So going to launch into this. I'm going to get to a place where I can talk freely. So today I want to talk about, had my first session last night, our first prep session of, Fash says had to skip the finisher. Yeah, you had to shoot off, I think, rush off to work, which is cool. Yeah, you missed a treat, man. So we had our first power up prep group call late last night, for the UC28 Ultimate Comeback 28 day program, which starts next Monday on the 28th of June. So we've had our first prep call, and I just wanted to sort of talk about that a little bit. So going to be honest and vulnerable here. I was a little bit concerned about jumping on that call, and I'll tell you for why. Because I've been on calls in the past, certainly in the personal development industry, and this isn't knocking anybody, and this isn't undermining other people. Everyone's got their own story and their own methods and everything. But my sort of biggest concern of jumping on this call last night with my new crew, this new group of people, I was determined for it not to be one of them calls where we're all just jumping up and down, clapping our hands, and everything's wonderful, the world is wonderful, and you know what, if we've got problems, we're going to dance some more, and overcome reality with more dancing, or pumping energy out on a call. I was determined for it not to be that. I wanted to be a few geezers, a straight talking call, honesty in there, showing vulnerability, taking off the fucking armour, the suit of armour that we walk around with to protect ourselves, to not show vulnerability. And I was super, super pleased and super happy that that's exactly what happened on the call last night. Everyone on the call, I would say, opened up. We completely showed our vulnerability. But the biggest thing about that, then we can change, then we can heal, and then we can move on, and then we can progress forward. So and that call will be going out to everybody in the group, a recording of it as well, which there's a few people who couldn't make the call. That's sometimes that happens. So that was really awesome. And the biggest thing for me, and I've had feedback from a few of the guys already this morning, is about shifting, is about mindset shifts. My goal or aim on that call was to, by the time we came off the call, that the guys were thinking differently in some way, shape or form, and we would leave the call where they would just step that little bit closer to being their higher self physically and mentally. And that's what the whole thing is about, this 28 days. And I want to ask everyone a question on the call. What's your one limiting belief? What's your one thing that's holding you back? So it normally starts with, I'm afraid of, I fear, or I can't do something because, or I'm not good at that. So a negative sort of phrase or sentence that holds us back. So mine is I'm not good enough. That's been my reoccurring limiting belief over the years. I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy. And once you start going into that and unraveling that, and we say in NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, that we remove the table legs one by one, and we destabilise that limiting belief. John Gowers, how are you, man? You got tyre drag tonight, mate, as a finisher, so you're going to enjoy that. I won't spoil the rest of it and tell you what the main session is, but so what's your one limiting belief? What's the thing that's holding you back? So as I said, mine is I'm not worthy. I'm not worthy to run a crew or to lead a team or to coach other people. Why would they listen to me? That was my reoccurring thing over the last couple of years. But what do we then do? As I say, we remove the legs. We remove the reasoning behind the limiting belief. So one guy last night, and I'm sure he won't mind me saying, he was talking about his story. As introductions, we all talked about our own story. Who are we? What are we? And why are we here? Why are we on this 28-day program? And all of a sudden, amongst everything what this guy was saying, all of a sudden, he said, I'm a quitter. Yeah? And when he said that, his tonality changed. And it was almost like if you could write that sentence in bold and him to say it louder or a different tone, it was exactly that moment. That was, and I picked it out and I said to the guy at the end of his, he's sort of talking for 2-3 minutes, explaining who he was, what he was. And I explained about him saying, I'm a quitter. And we unravelled it. We started removing the table legs. And I said, have you always been a quitter? No. Have there been times where you haven't quit? Yes. Can you think of many occasions where you haven't quit? Yes. When's the last time you didn't quit? Oh, it was such and such. And I said, well, what happened? And then through this different type of questioning where we undermine that limiting belief and then we reframe it into a positive, empowering belief, by the end of it, and I've had confirmation back from this guy that as a very minimum on a group call for a couple of hours, as a very minimum, he's now walked away from that call reframing that limiting belief. Yeah. So at least he's reframed it to sometimes I'm a quitter. Yeah. So we've got 28 days to completely transform that limiting belief, which is his hugest limiting belief, by the way. And that's the limiting belief that's been ruling his life for many years, and he's gone into detail on that. And there's a sudden breakthrough or sudden realisation that bloody hell, that's the story I've been telling myself. I've been telling myself I'm a quitter over and over and over. And you know what? Because I've been telling myself that's exactly what I've been doing. I've been quitting because that's who I am. And it's almost like giving myself a label. I'm a quitter. So as I say, we've destabilised it. We started the process of saying, well, I'm not always a quitter. Sometimes I am. Okay. Let's move from there for now. I don't want to completely try to transform it all in one foul swoop, because what then happens, if you don't build a strong foundation, if you don't reinforce that change of belief, if you don't do proper, deeper work on it over a period of time, what happens, you're almost falsely rebuilding that table again, if you think of it like that. What you're doing, you're destabilising it, but then you're not giving it a strong foundation. So what then happens? You collapse again. Either that limiting belief comes back in full force, or even worse, it will switch to something different or something even more powerful. So that's where we take it step by step. And then the key message for all the guys was that all we're trying to do over the 28 days is take one step forward on a daily basis. Not overwhelm ourselves, not try and take on too much, not try and conquer the world in 28 days, but just one step at a time, one step forward every day. And even if there's not one step today, we go to bed tonight and we've got tomorrow. We there are times where we need to write off the day and say, you know what, fuck it, today's a bad day, there's nothing I can do, everything's against me, it's been a real toughie, I've survived it, which is the big thing. I've survived it, but do you know what, I've got tomorrow. That's the beautiful thing about life. We've always got the next day, you know. We can always come back and smash it, get up early, get up at 4:30 in the morning like I do most times, as I did this morning. Anyway, going to leave it there. Just wanted to share it with you. Really enjoyed the call, was awesome. If you're interested in this sort of stuff, if you're a guy that, you know, needs a bit of unraveling, if you're a guy that's got this repetitive limiting belief that you can't get rid of, you know, it's blocking you, and it's this story that you've been telling yourself for a long time and you can't shake it, click the link above or below, jump in this 28-day challenge. It's going to be a laugh, there's going to be banter, we'll have some fun on it, but also there's going to be some unraveling and getting real to the deep roots of what our challenges are and how we can progress and essentially be our best self mentally and physically. That's what we're aiming for. So if you're interested, click the link, jump in. Super value investment for this first 28 day. If you're interested, jump in. Kicks off Monday. Take care, guys.